Board of Selectmen meeting is now in session on Wednesday, April 20th, 2022. If you could all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. All right. The first order of business is the approval of minutes. We have 3 sets of minutes to take up, and I think we have to take them all separately. Well, two of them. That's right. We could do March 31st workshop and April 7th workshop. Member Rosenberg was not present for those.
Okay, I'll make a motion as the board waive a reading of the minutes and approve them as provided for March 31st, 2022 and April 7th, 2022.
I have a motion by Rick. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Joe. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? An abstention? Member Rosenberg. Okay. So the next set of minutes is for the April 6th, 2022 meeting. Member Rosenberg and Member Blanchard were not present, so they cannot vote.
Therefore, I'll put forth a motion to waive the reading of the minutes of the April 6th, 2022 regular meeting of the Selectmen.
Okay, I have a motion by Joe, and I will second it. Any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? And the abstentions?
Aye.
Member Blanchard and Member Rosenberg. Thank you very much. Yeah? Question?
Yeah,
Yeah?
actually, I should have said it earlier, but on the motion, never said to approve.
You didn't?
Just said to waive a reading of
Oh.
the minutes.
And to approve them? You
That
said
part
approve
was-
them.
I did, but on
Oh.
Joe's motion, I don't think
Okay.
Okay,
approval was in there.
Okay.
I didn't hear.
okay, well, then I'll
We'll do it again.
rescind my motion and repeat. I would like to do away with the reading of the minutes and accept the minutes of April 6th, 2022 as written.
Okay. I have a motion by Joe, and I will second that motion to approve. No discussion, all in favor?
Yes.
Aye. And the abstentions are still with Member Blanchard and Member Rosenberg. Okay. So that brings us to public comment. Is there anybody here who wishes to speak to the board about a matter that is not on the agenda? Okay. Hearing none. I will make note that we do have a public hearing at 7:10 p.m., so we can't start that until 7:10 p.m. So we will move on to new business. Item A, under new business, ceremonial swearing in has been postponed, so that will happen at another date, and town administrator will let us know when that is rescheduled for. So that brings us to item B, to set the town meeting date for June 21st, 2022, the time 6 p.m. And I have a note here from town clerk and town administrator that the town meeting would be held at Adams Memorial Building. Jay, is there anything else
Nope.
to add? Okay.
I just have a question. Will that be in a gymnasium or the auditorium?
Gymnasium.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion the board set the annual town meeting date of June 21st, 2022 at 6 p.m.
Okay. I have a motion by Member Blanchard. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Second by Member Rosenberg. Any further discussion? I will just point out that the town clerk says that everything is on schedule to get the mailing to town meeting members in advance of town meeting, as they are prepared to get everything to the printer, barring any unforeseen circumstances with any meetings, by the end of May. So for town meeting members who are paying attention, please be on the lookout for that information mid-June. If there's no other discussion, all those in favor of setting the town meeting day for June 21st, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That is unanimous. That brings us to opening the town meeting warrant. So per the town clerk, the suggestion was to open the town meeting warrant at today's meeting, to close the warrant on May 4th, allowing ample time for any citizen petitions during that period of time. So I do need a motion to open the town meeting warrant.
I'll make a motion that the board open the town meeting warrant effective now to be closed on May 4th.
Okay, I have a motion by Member Blanchard. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Second by Member Rosenberg. Any discussion?
Do I need a time for the closure?
I would say probably 3 PM. Is that, what day of the week is that?
It's a close of business. The 4th would be a Wednesday, so that would be 5 PM.
We close at 5, so I would say 4 PM.
Okay.
1 hour before the building closes.
I'll amend my motion to
Okay.
include closing at 4 p.m.
4 PM. Okay. And do you still want a second?
I second that.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? That is unanimous. I am watching the clock. I do have 3 minutes before our public hearing. Jay, do you want to start on a town administrator report?
Yeah, I can. I don't have too much to report tonight. We're moving ahead with a variety of different projects as we ramp up for construction season here. We're also still going through vacation season with some local state offices, et cetera, so some of that is sluggish and slow, but we're moving ahead with it. DPW's been out paving, or I should say filling potholes, so we're focusing a lot of attention on that. And we're finalizing, we have one more budget workshop, I believe, this week, and then after that, approval, and we'll assemble the town meeting warrant concurrent with the open meeting warrant. That's about all I have for tonight.
Okay. Any questions for the town administrator about his report?
Is there any update on the potholes with the shortage of that chemical?
It's not needed anymore because we're, the hot mix plants are open.
Okay,
Pittsfield plant's open. They opened last week.
okay.
Great. Okay.
The roads look better.
It could be better, but we're getting there.
Yep. All right. There is no town council report this evening, as town council was unable to attend. I have like 1 minute. I could do a song and dance for a minute until the public
I'll tell you
hearing. Joking. Go ahead,
The
Howard.
subcommittee report.
That's risky.
Go ahead.
The Board of Health are trying to backfill for the 2 board resignations. So there's interviewing going on, and there'll be write-in votes for some of the people who are going to apply for that position of Board of Health. And so it's because it's too late for them to actually pull papers. So some people are going to have write-in for 2 candidates, I think. So,
That is the application process at this point.
that's right. Okay.
There is no other application other than the ballot. And to that extent, I think we should thank Joyce Brewer and Pete Hoyt for their service on the Board of Health.
Yes.
This is the first I've heard of it. Was that unexpected? It was just a resignation?
They didn't resign, they chose not to run.
Okay, but they chose not to run this late, knowing that,
No, they notified, they talked about it at a board meeting. David had asked if they were pulling papers. They were asked by the town clerk, and they stated their wishes in plenty of time for people to take out papers if they
okay,
had wanted
thank you.
to.
That's only asking because this is the first I've heard of it.
Okay.
Okay, that brings us to exactly 7:10, as promised. So we do have a public hearing before us for an all-alcoholic beverages license application for Adams Theater LLC, operating at 27 Park Street here in Adams. I do need a motion from the board to go into the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to go into the public hearing
Okay, for the all-alcohol,
for the alcohol permit.
okay,
Okay.
for the Adams Theater.
For the Adams Theater.
Thank you. Okay, so I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second,
Okay, are you confused?
Let me see, where is that?
because the request from the attorney,
So,
would we do that before or after we open it?
so we're going to open it, and then I will mention, and yes. So you're still good seconding?
Sure.
Okay. And as Member Blanchard has indicated, we did get some guidance from town council who couldn't be here, and we'll go through that as a group. So I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Okay. We are officially in public hearing. Ina Moore is here. She has provided the application for Adams Theater. As Member Blanchard, so Member Blanchard and I serve on the license, you can come forward, Ina, sorry. Member Blanchard and I serve on the licensing subcommittee, so we have been working with town council on the application and some back and forth. As you know, and you've supplied some information, and your attorney has supplied some information as well about an administrative kind of function or a difference of opinion about a couple of different things stated with the alcohol, with the ABCC. So we wanted to go forward with the public hearing to have you state your intent to apply for the alcohol license and go through how you would be using the license and so forth. So if you could maybe state your intent and also indicate who would be the manager and all of those things.
Okay.
Okay?
Sounds good.
All right. I will tell you that we will, coming out of the public hearing,
Yeah.
the recommendation from town council has been to table this
Yeah.
until probably both attorneys
Yeah.
can have a conversation, and then the board would come back and officially vote on
Yeah.
it. But for tonight, we should go through the public hearing and hear about your intentions with the license and how you would operate, et cetera.
Okay.
So we have that information.
Yeah. So I'm just going to introduce myself. I'm Ina Moore. I'm the owner of Adams Theater LLC, which owns the 27 Park Street, a premise across the town hall here at Adams Theater. And together with me here today is my husband, Alan Moore. He is an operations manager of the theater, and he's sort of the unsung hero behind this revitalizing project. And he has been involved and contributed to every single public events, community engagement, open house last year. Here, Adams Theater LLC is applying for a pouring license for the theater. We're doing this in conjunction with the ongoing renovation at the storefront retail space. So a very quick update there. The theater's premise has a storefront retail cafe space. It has an old boiler room that is being converted into bathroom that can provide the service that can accommodate ultimately 400 users for the auditorium. And it also has an auditorium that's over 8,000 square feet on the premise. So the work that we're doing in this phase is primarily focusing on finishing the bathrooms and also repairing the storefront so that by late summer, early fall, we can finish that component and have it open for events and uses. And the goal is to be able to get a license when we finish the new bathroom and clean up the storefront to be open for public. And we would like to plan for small festivals and single-day events at that point. And being able to service alcohol during these events are very important for our long-term success as a performing arts venue. And Another thing is being able to service alcohol also allow us to collaborate with a lot of the local restaurants and food services industry, such as food trucks. In fact, we're already talking to our neighbor Firehouse Cafe on Park Street, which is also starting a restaurant business, and we're talking about potential collaboration and a catering service down the road. We believe that having several storefronts able to be open and servicing alcohol, food as a whole package is going to create a synergy that it's required to revitalize and activate downtown. And in this process, as I mentioned, my husband and Alan Moore is going to be the alcohol license manager. He's the behind-the-scene guy in many of the efforts of revitalizing this theater, and he's a very extremely organized, detail-oriented, and responsible person, and he doesn't even drink. He doesn't. But in the long run, we would like to identify a long-term tenant for the cafe space in the storefront of the storefront retail space of the theater, someone who can share our vision and who can manage the food and beverage service side of the business. So that's the plan. Yeah. And regarding the issue, regarding the LLC structure, we're given mixed information because Alan is a U.S. citizen and I'm not. I'm a permanent resident. I do believe, our attorney believe that as long as 50% of the managers of the LLC is U.S. citizen, we don't need to change the LLC structure so that it's 50% owned by a U.S. citizen. The town council seem to believe the other way around. So if the requirement is for 50% of the LLC owner has to be a U.S. citizen, then we will restructure. I think it takes very short time to restructure so that we make sure that the owner is also 50% U.S. citizen. Because it's going to be faster for me, for that to happen than for me to get U.S. citizenship. So that's the synopsis. Yeah.
Thank you, Ina, and I'll speak a little bit to that so that I can give a synopsis to the full board. They all received a packet of information. The ABCC frequently asked questions document that your attorney had sent over yesterday, I believe.
Yeah.
That on page 3, it was section, my fingers don't work, sorry, they're cold. I think it's section 6 about the pouring licenses. There's a paragraph about citizenship as it relates to LLCs. So the board did receive that information. In addition, they also received the information from town council, who has the difference of opinion about citizenship. And this one was the regulations of the Alcohol Beverages Control Commission, and regarding licenses and permits. It was section 1 about every applicant for a license or permit, either individually or as a member of a partnership or association, shall furnish proof of his or her citizenship by production of a certificate of birth, naturalization, or a registered voter. And then it continues on about citizenship. That is one document that he was referring to. The other was Mass General Law, Chapter 138, Section 26. And this seems to be more about the manager. And not necessarily about the LLC.
Yeah.
So I think indicating that Alan would be the manager might help in this situation. But I wanted to be very clear, we're supportive. We're just trying to figure out the administrative side of this. It's a unique situation that we haven't faced yet. And so I think if you're able to be a little bit more patient, and it was good to hear that fall is when you're looking to operate. It gives us a little bit more time to have the lawyers do their thing and sort some of this out. That would be my recommendation this evening, but I'm just one person, so I will open it up to anybody else who has comments or questions, but I wanted to at least give the background because maybe not everybody knew all of it. Yeah, go ahead,
I
Greg.
have questions.
Yeah.
Now, the entry to the theater, is it going to be through the cafe, or are you going to have a separate entrance?
It could be used as both because the theater has 1, 2, 4 exits that leads into Armory Court. So for certain type of shows, like certain type of events that we did last year, we derived people directly into Armory Court to enter the theater. But I think the current configuration of the floor plan, it does not prevent people from entering the theater through a proper entrance through the cafe as well. So I think in the future, depending on the type of shows that we want to see, you can say this particular show, we recommend that people enter through Armory Court. It sounds a bit kind of funny and ridiculous, but I went to a show at Berkshire Theater Group this year. In the midst of the COVID, every performance venue kind of have to adapt. So instead of getting people through a small bottleneck, they just direct people directly into the auditorium where people sit 6 feet apart. So it becomes almost a norm that, multiple entrances leads into the auditorium. So,
Yeah, I'm just thinking because, the cafe, in trying to do the business, plus have all the people
yeah,
for the theater traveling through, it might get a little congested.
yes, there will be. Yeah, absolutely.
Other questions?
I just have a comment. This has been mentioned, we're doing this because I think in the end it will be much more advantageous to you to have all of these things ironed out. So you can proceed in an orderly fashion, what you have been doing, and I personally thank you for your efforts here in Adams.
Thank you.
No questions.
It is a public hearing, so I'll open it up if there was anybody from the public who had anything. Okay. Just checking. I don't know if Alan, I know he's the behind-the-scenes guy, but I don't know if you had anything.
She
you
built
wanted
you
to
up,
say.
Alan.
I know.
She built you up.
Trustworthy, responsible, wonderful things have been said about you, so I didn't know if you wanted to say anything.
Ina's definitely the visionary on this project, and she's the driving force to make all these things happen. The connection she needs to make with other businesses, with other members of the community, and the alcohol license makes sense for us to bring people to the theater, with affordable ticket prices, knowing that we can always sell a beer or a wine and
To make the numbers work.
and so it'll help the numbers work, and people can guarantee of a good evening.
Yep.
So I think it makes sense.
It does make sense. From my perspective, Park Street should have lots of options for food and beverages of all types. And currently, there are 2 licenses. Cheese, I don't think is technically on Park Street, but Firehouse Cafe and Cheese are the only ones who currently hold a license and can serve on Park Street. They're spread out all over town, but to make downtown a destination, I do think that you need those in hand.
Yeah.
That's my own personal belief. Okay, so if there's nothing else to talk about during the public hearing, then I will entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion that we close the public hearing.
Okay, but motion by Member Blanchard. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. No one's opposed, that is unanimous. So the recommendation, as I stated, from town council was to table this until he is back in town and can speak. And we do have the contact information for your attorney, and that they can speak and have that information. Do you have the information that he's been referring to?
No, I don't.
Okay. Let me give you my copies.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then this top one is the one that your attorney sent. Okay?
Thank you.
So that's everything that we're operating from as well, but this way you have the same information.
Okay.
Okay. So for the board, the recommendation is, from town council, is to table this until a time in which both lawyers have had a chance to talk and bring forth a recommendation to the board.
Okay, because of the legal Ts to be crossed and Is to be dotted, I will make a motion that the board table the all alcohol beverages license application for Adams Theater LLC located at 27 Park Street, Adams, Mass.
I have a motion by Member Blanchard. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Second by Member Rosenberg. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
And that is unanimous. Ina and Alan, thank you very much for coming this evening
Thank you.
and telling us about the project and giving us an update. And for anybody who wants more information or the renderings, it's adamstheater.org?
Yes.
Okay. You're very welcome. Thank you for all that you're doing.
Cheers.
Oh, how apropos. Cheers. All right, so that brings us back to subcommittee and liaison reports. Member Rosenberg provided a report from the Board of Health. Did you have anything else?
No.
Okay. Member Blanchard.
I have nothing.
Member Novak.
Nothing?
Okay. I don't believe that I have anything either. That brings us to announcements and good of the order. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I do have a subcommittee report. It's from the licensing side of things. We did receive notification from the Viking Pub that they will be closed from May 5th until Tuesday, May 24th. So they will reopen on May 24th. Due to some personal matters, the Viking Pub will be closed for that time period. So consider that the public notice. Okay, now announcements and good of the order. Joe?
Yes, one thing, I'm certainly going to continue talking about the situation taking place in Ukraine. My faith is very strong, and I speak often to a sister of who was the principal at the parochial school here in town, and she wrote back to me just a short little paragraph during the Easter season that probably says more than that I can say, and it goes this way. Let us pray together for those who harm others violently. At the same time, let us pray fervently for the innocent victims of war. Spring brings new hope. Never stop hoping. So my hope is that there can become a quick resolution of this war. It's heinous to see what is happening and how people are just being slain indiscriminately. And that's all that I have on that part. And finally, I'd like to say that I believe this is our last public meeting before election time. I encourage everybody to get out and vote. I know it's a very mundane slate. There's nobody going down a whole slate of offices. There's all unopposed, but it still would show well for your civic duty if you could get out there and vote. It's something that everyone should do. So please vote if you can. That's all.
Member Blanchard?
I have nothing.
Just to follow up on Member Novak's plea for everyone to go out and vote, the date is Monday, May 2nd, and the polling location has changed. The polling location is Adams Memorial School. For information about the offices that will be on the ballot, I think that there are specimen ballots on the town's website, but you can also get more information about the hours, the location, et cetera. But I believe the hours are 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Monday, May 2nd.
And the voting is at Adams?
Adams Memorial, on Columbia Street.
Yeah.
Anything?
Nothing for me.
Okay. That does bring this board to an executive session. Please note that we would be coming out of executive session for the only business before us to adjourn. I do need a motion to go into executive session, and if you could read the reason why.
I make a motion to go into executive session to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigating position of the public body, and the chair so declares.
I have a motion by Member Rosenberg. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Member Blanchard. Any discussion? It is a roll call vote. Member Novak?
Yes.
Member Blanchard?
Yes.
Member Hoyt is a yes. Member Rosenberg?
Yes.
All right. We'll take a 5-minute recess while we set up for the executive session.